Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a haul, swatch, and review for KL Polish. These are the nail polishes that were created by Kathleen Lights. So I want to talk about the polishes a little bit before I get into the swatches. So I'll leave somewhere, in the description box or here on the screen what time the swatches are actually going to start. When she first launched, she decided to have a pre-sale for, the 6 polishes that came out into her line. And I originally ordered through the pre-sale and things kind of just went wrong. I received a confirmation from PayPal that my order had been submitted, but I never actually received a confirmation from KL Polish saying that my order had been submitted. And I was like, okay, I think that's kind of weird, but I was so busy when I did the pre-order because it was like in November, and I'm a full-time student right now, and that's when things get crazy. Finals are coming up. I was taking 4 300 level classes. It just got crazy. So I was like, oh, maybe it went to my spam, but I didn't even think about it. I wasn't really in a rush to get this nail polishes. I was like, okay, if they get here, they get here. Christmas time is coming. It was just crazy. The actual launch date was December 5th, I believe, is when the company fully launched. I started seeing that a lot of people that had ordered even after the pre-sale during the regular launch were getting their orders. And I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. So I emailed customer service and I never got a response. And so basically I went and I checked my accounts and I went and I checked PayPal, and I was never actually charged even though I received confirmation it was pending. So I decided to contact PayPal and I just canceled, my PayPal order for it. And I decided to resubmit another order after, during the regular launch. But when I went to do that, a lot of her polishes were sold out. So I had to wait until all of her polishes because I wanted to, do a review on all 6 polishes. I didn't order them till I believe it was right after Christmas. And I knew it was going to take a while to get here because I ordered it right after Christmas. And, they were still I'm sure they were still even trying to fulfill orders that weren't able to get out for Christmas time. So I was like, whatever. But I finally got the polishes about maybe 4 days ago. I really don't care. I'm a patient person. I know a lot of people were angry, but she went on to say that she sent a personal email to everybody who ordered during the pre-order, and supposedly there was a discount code that was given and all of this crazy stuff, but I never received an email. I tried emailing her customer service several times and I never got a response. So I'm not calling her a liar, but I'm just saying, people talk about how great her customer service was, and I really don't think it was all that great. I'm not mad or anything, but I really don't think that her customer service was all that great. I've seen that there's still a lot of dissatisfied customers, so I don't know how you can say that, your customer service team is amazing or that customer service did an amazing job if you still have a lot of customers that were dissatisfied. I'm not angry, I'm just dissatisfied. I'm just a dissatisfied customer. So I finally get the polishes and I'm able to do swatches, and I can personally say that some of these polishes are really, really great and some of them are not so great. I think her price point is a little bit on the expensive side, especially for the fact that she just created cream polishes. The reason that I'm willing to pay that much money for indie polishes is because indie polishes don't typically make cream polishes. Cream polishes are something that I can get at the drugstore, I can get from mainstream brands. A lot of the polishes that I get from indie polish makers are very unique polishes. They're holographic polishes. They have glitters in them. They have color shifting properties to them. Thermal polishes, multi-chrome polishes. They're very unique. So I'm willing to pay, $10 a bottle, $9 a bottle for indie polishes. One, because I know that they're actually hand making all of these batches, but 2, they're very unique polishes. So for her to charge, I think it was $8.50 a bottle. I'll double check. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. That's around OPI and China Glaze prices. I think it's more expensive than China Glaze prices. That's around OPI prices, which I'm still not even comfortable paying $10 a bottle for an OPI bottle. But OPI has been around for a very, very long time. They have a name. you know, they have a name and a reputation. Nobody's ever heard of KL polish. You know, this is her very, very first launch. And I get it. I get that it's expensive to create these nail polishes. I just think it's a pretty steep price point. And even though OPI is expensive, like I said, they do have a reputation. They've been around for how many years? You can always use a coupon code for OPI, and they always have deals for OPI. You know, you can still get these products at the drugstore. So personally, I didn't really feel too comfortable with the price point, but I still wanted to support Kathleen. I still wanted to support her business because I don't know, I just really like her, and you know, I was able to afford it, so I just went ahead and placed my order. But I don't really think this is a very affordable nail polish line, and I can see how some people, you know, have issues with the price, have issues with the shipping. So let's talk about the bottle, you know, the bottle shape and the brush. So the bottle is this really pretty, you know, square rectangular shaped bottle. It may not be very unique in the mainstream world, but this bottle is actually used by several people in the indie world. So like 90 Lacquer has this bottle shape, Virago Varnish has this bottle shape, Painted Polish by Lexi has this bottle shape. Julie G has a very similar bottle shape. It's a little bit shorter, but the one thing that is pretty unique is that it has this matte cap, so it's actually really easy to grip and open the bottle. And another thing that's pretty unique is her wand. So it's a pretty wide wand, and the one thing that really makes this unique is that it has like a tapered end. It's a short wand, it's a wide wand, and it has a tapered end right there. So it's skinny in this direction, but then, you know, the tip of it is kind of curved. There's only one nail polish brand that I know of that does a very, very similar wand. Similar, but not quite the same, and that is Sally Hansen. They have the Complete Salon Manicure has a very, very similar wand where it's that short and wide wand, but it's not necessarily tapered in the way that she has it. It's very, very similar. So again, it's skinny and then it's wide, but it's not as it's not as rounded as her brushes are. And then you have the Sally Hansen Insta Dry line, which again has a very, very similar wand, but the Insta Dry wand is a little bit longer, but it's also, as you can see, wide, like skinny on one side and wide. And I'll show you a side-by-side comparison of all of the wands. So this is the KL polish wand. So as you can see, the KL polish is a lot shorter than all of the wands. This one right, and these two right here are the Sally Hansen. The middle one is the Complete Manicure, and this one right here on the end is the Insta Dry. So as you can see, the wands are a little bit longer, but that's probably the closest wand that I can find, or brush. I don't know why I keep saying wand. Brush that I can find that's the closest to the KL polish. Personally, I really like the brush. I like that it's a little bit wider than your traditional brushes. That I have wider fingers, and I always find that I have to kind of paint my nails in like 3 sections in order to cover the entire nail. So I really like that this wider brush, especially with my pinky finger, it pretty much completely covers the width of my pinky finger. It's really, really easy to get into your cuticle and kind of cover the entire cuticle without making too much of a mess. You don't have to have the best nail polish application in order to get a perfect manicure. It does make it easier for cleanup if there's less mess, but I still find myself having to clean up even when using, you know, this brush, which it is pretty easy to handle. I do like the width of it. I like how much of nail polish it actually picks up. I do give her props. I like the bottle design. It's really easy to store. It's not too tall, not too wide. I really like the matte cap, and I also like the brush design. I have live swatches for you guys so you can see how the polish actually applies. And then I try to give you guys dupes if I could find dupes, because some of these colors are unique, but other colors not so much. And I'm going to start with the one that I found the most dupes for. So I'm going to start off with this one in Snickerdoodle. And this is just a very light nude polish. This is something that a lot of people would use or use for like mannequin hands. This is almost the exact same color as my skin tone. This one had a relatively good formula for a nude polish. It was fully opaque in 3 coats. I could see how this could be fully opaque in 2 coats if you did use thicker coats. My second coat just had a little bit of like patchy spots on it, so that's why I ended up doing 3 coats. I like to do medium coats because I have a lot of issues with polishes pooling on me. This one did, however, have a little bit of a thicker formula in comparison to the entire collection. There was a lot of inconsistencies with formulas in this collection. So I have 4 dupes here for you guys. The first one is the color Pale to the Chief from OPI, and this one came out in the fall collection. This one has a very, very, very little bit of like pearly shimmer to it. Very, very faint, but on the nails, these are the exact same color. So that's one dupe for you, and it's OPI, so it's actually pretty readily available. The next one that I have is from Zoey, and this is the color Cala, C-A-L-A, and this is another dupe for this polish. It is a little bit lighter in the bottle, but when this dries down, it does dry down a little bit darker. So on the nails, these are the exact same color. Another color that is very, very similar to it. It is a little bit on the milkier side. And this one is from Wet n Wild. This is part of their One Step Wonder Gel collection. And this one is in condensed milk. This one is a very close dupe. It does dry down a little bit lighter than this one. And then I also have one from Jamberry. I actually, it doesn't say what the color is for this one for some reason for Jamberry. But there is the color there. They are pretty much exact dupes for each other. Like this isn't a one coater, so it doesn't have like an extremely amazing formula. And there are, you know, 4 polishes here. 2 are exact dupes and the other 2 are very, very close dupes. But as you can see, this isn't a very unique color. However, I do really like this color. I think it's a very nice wearable everyday color. It's a really nice color for people who are in the professional field, people who can't really wear a lot of these loud and crazy colors. It gives you a very nice clean and crisp manicure. It's a very sophisticated color, so I really do enjoy wearing colors like these when I need to adult a little bit more, if that makes any sense. So then the next color I actually did a manicure with, and it's actually what I'm wearing on my nails right now. I did this little doggy bone dodicure. All of the details will be on Instagram, but the next color is called Zoey, and this one impressed me with the formula because this was fully opaque in 2 coats. It's this really, really pretty soft nude ballerina pink with just a little bit of purple in there. I really, really do enjoy this color, but again, it is one of those soft nude colors. It's very work appropriate. It gives you a really nice clean manicure. It's very girly. It's a very girly color. I have 2 polishes here that are exact dupes for it. The first one is in the color Ladylike from Essie, and this one is an exact dupe for this polish. The Essie formula is not as great as the KL polish formula. The Essie formula takes 3 to 4 coats to be fully opaque, and they're right around the same price point. Zoey does have a much nicer formula. Like I said, it took 2 coats to be fully opaque. You can almost get this fully opaque in 1 coat. This did surprise me because it is such a light polish. And then there's another polish from the NCLA Nudes collection, and this one is in the volume 4 is what it says on there. And this one is a little bit more of like a peachier color, but you pretty much can't tell that these are 2 different polishes on the nail. They are really, really, really close, but a much closer and exact dupes is Essie's Ladylike. So again, just to show that you can find dupes for this polish. It just goes to show that this is not a very unique color, but again, I really liked the formula of this one. So this one did stand out to me out of the 6 polishes because it is such a nice formula. Now I'm going to talk about one that I actually could not find a dupe for, and I was really, really excited about this polish because this looks like it could be a dupe for Sally Hansen's Yummy Yams. I don't know if they're dupes because I don't have Yummy Yams in my collection. It is a color that I really want in my collection, and it's kind of like this pukey, mustardy orange color. It's like a squashy, mustardy color. It is so pretty and so unique. This one actually had a really, really nice formula, just like Zoey. This was fully opaque in 2 coats, but it was almost fully opaque in 1 coat. I really, really love the richness of this color. And like I said, I don't have any polish in my collection that was even remotely close to this one. She did a really good job with this polish. I don't even know if I said the name. This one is in Caramello or Caramello. Really, really gorgeous polish. So this is definitely one of the polishes that if you are interested in picking up any of her polishes from the collection, I would definitely recommend this one. Now I'm going more into some of those deeper and darker polishes. This next polish is called Brick Sidewalk, and I do have something negative to say about this one. Even though, you know, this collection recently launched, I don't know how long they've had these bottles just sitting on shelves. But when I received this bottle, it was actually kind of separated. So there's like this black or dark pigment in the polish, and it was completely separated. And even now that I've shaken this bottle several times, you can still see that black separation in the bottle. That black pigment and that black separation really showed up in the polish and made the polish look a little patchy. So I found myself having to really, really shake this bottle in order to get a nice and even application. And even with that, this still took 3 coats to be fully opaque. And the second coat was really, really patchy, but I feel like it had to more do with the color separation or the pigment separation. It wasn't so much patchy in the sense that I could still see my nail. It was patchy in the sense that it looked like there was 2 different colors on my nail. I did end up really, really shaking this bottle and doing a 3rd coat with it, and you know, it fully leveled out. The color is gorgeous on this polish, and I actually have 2 colors that are almost dupes for it. One is slightly lighter and a little bit more on like the peachy side, and this is from OPI and it's called Yank My Doodle. This is part of their DC collection that came out in the fall, and this is almost an exact dupe for it. It is just a smidgen lighter. The other one is just a little bit darker than this one. This one is from Deborah Lemon and it's in the color Respect, and this one is just a little bit more red. So it pulls a little bit more reddishy orange. Brick Sidewalk, because of that like dark pigment, it does pull a little bit dustier. So the last 2 polishes I have here actually had the worst formulation, and they were very different formulation from the first 4 polishes that I showed you guys. The first 4 polishes were very creamy and a little bit on like the medium, almost medium thick side of a nail polish formulation. These 2 polishes were very watery and they were very sheer. They almost kind of applied like jelly polishes. The first one I want to talk about is Broccoli and Chocolate, and this is like a dark chocolate brown color. This one took 3 coats to be fully opaque, and I maybe perhaps needed a 4th coat because I ended up doing a pretty thick 3rd coat, but because this is so watery, it ended up kind of pooling on my cuticles. It's a really nice color. It's a very rich color. If the formulation were a little bit better, I'd say this polish was worth it, but I personally don't really think that this polish is worth it. So I have 2 polishes here that I think are dupes. One I think is an exact dupe. This is called It's Top Secret. This is from the OPI DC collection. On camera, the OPI one does look a little bit darker. The Broccoli and Chocolate tends to dry a little bit darker than what you see in the bottle, especially because you have to do 4 coats of this polish, 3 or 4 coats of this polish to dry down. So when these 2 dried down, they looked the exact same. But the OPI DC collection has a much better formula. Most of the polishes in the entire collection were fully opaque in 2 coats, and then the other one, this one is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit on the taupier side and not as like chocolatey brown. This one is from Zoya and it's called Desiree, and as you can see, it is a little bit lighter, but it's still in the same color family. The Zoya formula is really nice. It's fully opaque in 2 coats. I mean, I was really disappointed in this dark polish, and normally dark polishes are the ones with the more opaque and buildable formula, and it just I don't know. I just thought that one was a dud. I really just didn't like that one at all. And the last one that she released is this beautiful, beautiful, like navy blue with a lot of purple in it. And this one is called Gumption. This one was probably the one that I was disappointed in the most because the color is so beautiful. However, this was the most sheer polish. This one took 4 coats to be fully opaque, and even with 4 coats, I could just barely see my nail line. That's only if I was being really picky about like looking for my nail line, but still, like, these colors tend to build up really, really nicely because they are, you know, darker colors. So I was shocked that her dark colors were as sheer and didn't build up as nicely as her creamy colors and her light colors. I do have 2 dupes here for you. The first one is an exact dupe. This one is from OPI and it's called My Car Has Navigation. This is fully opaque in 2 to 3 coats depending on application. You know, when you first apply it, it is a little bit more of like a sheerish formula, but you know, it's OPI, it's drugstore. You can use a coupon to get this. You can find it on Amazon for relatively cheap. So, you know, it's really gonna come down to a price difference because the formula is pretty close. And then the last one is from Zoey, and this was part of their Ultra Brights collection. This one is sheer. You can build this up on its own, but it is intended to be sheer because this is meant to be a layering polish. So you're supposed to layer this over a white base, and it's supposed to intensify the formula. So, or the color, like brighten up the color. It's supposed to be more of like a neon blue. But if you were to wear this on its own, 4 coats to be fully opaque on its own, it's going to give you the exact same color payoff as the KL polish. So you have 2 dupes for that right there. Honestly, like I said, I really didn't like the formulation of the KL polish one, but both of my dupes also kind of had crappy formulas. However, both of my dupes were drugstore, or you could find them, you know, with a discount. You can get a coupon code for it. So really, it just came down to price with that last one. So my 2 personal favorites from this entire collection, I would have to say, is Caramello and Zoey. I love the color of Caramello. I think it's a very unique color. I didn't have any dupes for this color, so definitely this is one that's worth picking up. And then I think a very popular one is going to be Zoey. This is that really pretty, like, ballerina pink. It has a little bit of purple, so it's more, I'd say more of like a mauve color. This is a very trendy color right now. So these are 2 that I definitely recommend picking up if you are interested in KL polish. So I really wanted to do this review for you guys. I've had a few people request this video, so please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe. I am currently posting 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.